great catching up with old friends.
Yes.
Hey, how's it going, bosses? Welcome back to your favorite show, The Truck Boss Show. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel and hit that bell notification so you're up to date with all the latest trucker news.
We have got an amazing episode for you all today, but first, this episode is brought to you by our sponsor, TBS Factoring. TBS knows that the changing economy can be tough on drivers, especially when your contract interest rates change with it. That's why they offer low, fixed rates that don't ever change.
And for over 50 years, TBS has helped truckers run their businesses smoothly by offering reliable cash flow solutions, back office support, and so much more. Visit the link in the description box below for more information. Today, we're talking with Truckers Against Trafficking about their new programs, catching up with Todd Sturgis of the hit TV reality trucking show Shipping Wars, and we get an exclusive look at TBS's free ebook on how to winterize your rig. So, are you ready?
Let's take a ride. Truckers Against Trafficking works hard year after year to put an end to human trafficking. We got to sit down with Brandy Belton from TAT as she fills us in on some of the new programs that TAT has to offer. And there are some cool ones. Check this out. Truckers Against Trafficking, commonly referred to as TAT, helps truckers understand the realities of human trafficking through stories and its new Freedom Drivers project.
So Truckers Against Trafficking is a nonprofit organization that started in 2009 when they recognized that human trafficking was a big issue. And they realized that joining with truckers, because they are the eyes and ears of the roadways, potentially the ones that would come into contact with victims of human trafficking and be able to recognize and report it. So we started with the truckers to get them educated and being able to recognize and report human trafficking to law enforcement or to the National Human Trafficking Hotline.
Do you have any sort of story or example that you can give us that can maybe help truckers understand the realness of the situation?
So one story in particular is with a TA Petro truck stop where two employees were trained, with our materials, and they happened to just be paying attention and recognize that the hotel that was across the street from them, which was located in Jessup, Maryland, there was suspicious activity going on, and by them, paying attention and making that phone call, 12 victims were actually recovered and 3 traffickers or pimps, arrested for the activity that they were doing. They were selling their victims online and also just out on the streets as well. It doesn't hurt to make the phone call. Whoever answers the phone on the National Human Trafficking Hotline end will walk you through. They will ask you questions, what you've seen, what's going on. And if you're wrong, then you're wrong, but it's better to be wrong than not make the phone call because you were unsure.
Well, tell us a little bit about your program and what you do.
I am the Freedom Drivers Project Director, and I travel with a 48-foot mobile museum or exhibit. Everyone can come in and take a look, and inside the trailer has panels with actual artifacts from survivors and their stories that go with those artifacts. We've had several people leave out. A lot of people get very emotional. It's not something where we think that someone's going to come out happy that they went through the trailer, because it's not a happy experience, but it is a very real experience to know that these things actually happen to real people. So we want to show them the realism of that. The biggest thing I would say is be aware of your surroundings when you're out traveling, even if you're just going to like a Walmart and you're in the parking lot, because trafficking can take place anywhere and any time of day. Knowing what some of the red flags are, knowing what to look for, knowing how to report it, is the biggest thing that I can tell anyone. And again, if they see something, say something. Just make the phone call, because you never know when that one phone call could save somebody's life. And, just look at it as, what if it were one of your family members that this was happening to, and someone else seeing something but didn't make the call. You would hope that somebody else out there knew about human trafficking and knew the phone number and, made the call on your behalf as well.
If you'd like to get TAT certified, please visit truckersagainsttrafficking.org to get started. Chris, what you got for us?
Have you ever watched Shipping Wars? If you're a fan of the show, you might recognize Todd Sturgis, one of the stars of the show. We got to sit down with him and ask him about his experience on the show and what he's got in store next. Check it out. Meet Todd Sturgis, a seasoned truck driver, but you might also know him from A&E's Shipping Wars aired in the U.S. from 2015 to 2021 and features various independent trucking companies that ship unusual items that traditional carriers either cannot or will not haul. We got to catch up with Todd and get some inside looks on how he got his start on the show.
We got started because we did like social media stuff already, and so we're kind of familiar with that. I did some video production, not professionally. So as stuff like Shipping Wars came out, we were kind of prepared for it.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody sent an application to my wife and said, "This looks perfect for you." She filled it out and sent it to the production company, and through a course of events, a couple auditions, stuff like that, they hired us on, and that's how we got on Shipping Wars.
If you've ever watched Shipping Wars, you know that there are a lot of shenanigans that made it a great reality TV show. We asked Todd what his personal favorite moment was from the show.
I was into football, wrestling, the traditional sports, but we delivered the cup for a lacrosse championship.
Oh, wow.
And I just did not know lacrosse, and I got there, and I actually got sucked into it. I loved it. I became a fan of lacrosse after I experienced that championship game. So that was probably the highlight of my time on Shipping Wars.
Right. After completing 2 seasons on Shipping Wars, we got to ask Todd about what he's been up to since then and what he has in the works.
I've been trucking. I've been kind of out on my own. My wife was taking care of some family members. And then I decided, because I had some video production and experience on a show, that I would kind of try to create my own. A lot of people don't understand that trucking is a way out of poverty in a way. So the concept of the show is to move from an expensive state to a place like Texas or Oklahoma, get your CDL license. So the show would document a transformation from somebody who has no chance of ever owning a home or having a career that would enable them to own the home. So we would show both the trucking and then what trucking can do for these people as they become a homeowner.
One of Todd's biggest influences in the film world is Taylor Sheridan, maker of huge productions like Yellowstone and Sons of Anarchy. Todd says that what makes Sheridan such a great filmmaker is that he knows what he's talking about. In other words, he's saying that Sheridan has actually lived in the situations that he makes films about, which is how Todd wants to approach his own production.
I think my favorite scene of Yellowstone is they have a on-ranch rodeo, just the ranch hands. And after it's done, somebody asks the Jimmy character, they say, "What do you want to do with your life?" And he says, "I want to put a bunch of days like today together."
Yeah.
And that's what you can do in trucking. Put a bunch of days together that were magical. They're regular days,
Right.
but the sun is setting. You're seeing beautiful scenery. When you go to a dock, you get to see an engine built. You can go see stuff like that.
Right.
So I just want to show people that you can take regular days from trucking if you have the right attitude and make them amazing days and put together a bunch of those to have an amazing life.
We'll be keeping in touch with Todd on his new project and bringing you guys any updates. Until then, go catch up on Todd's Shipping War highlights. Nikki, what you got for us?
Winter is coming, and with that comes cold weather. Harsh conditions can be hard on your rig and you. In order to minimize downtime, keep operating costs low, and maintain a reliable vehicle, it's always best practice to winterize your truck before spending time in freezing temperatures. Here are some basic measures you can take before the cold weather begins to keep your truck up and running throughout the season.
Make sure your engine is properly tuned and serviced. Cold weather makes it harder on your engine to start due to oil taking longer to circulate. Also check vehicle hoses and belts for cracking, uneven wear, bulging and swelling, sponginess, and immediately replace anything faulty. Use the proper oil grade for cold temperatures. If you aren't sure which grade to use, check your owner's manual. And don't overlook lubrication when winterizing. Using the right lubricant reduces the amount of wear that occurs during operation, decreases operating temperatures, and minimizes corrosion of metal surfaces. When it comes to fueling up diesel trucks in the winter months, check the fuel grade as well as the cetane rating of the fuel pump. The cetane number measures diesel ignition quality. The higher the cetane number, the easier a diesel engine will start in cold weather. Another best practice is to refuel at the end of the day's operation or before leaving the vehicle standing for an extended period of time. Condensation forms on the inside of the warm fuel tank as it cools, and moisture will condense in any empty fuel tank. Because cold temperatures drain batteries faster, be sure vehicle batteries and charging systems are in good shape and operate properly. Also check your brakes, tires, and electrical lines for any signs of excessive wear or damage.
If you have air brakes, check your valves for functionality and leakage. Examine the routing of the air lines, looking for any damage or potential problems. Drain any condensation in the air system through the air tanks and confirm the proper functioning of the air dryer. And always use the Glad Hand dummy connectors on the rear of the tractor cab when the lines are not connected to the trailer. This prevents debris and excess water from getting into the air brake system.
Neglecting to keep a vehicle clean in the winter can cause erosion. When possible, pressure wash your entire vehicle, paying particular attention to the underbody and the nooks and crannies. To prevent water and cold temperatures from freezing your doors shut, clean your door frame and try parking close to a building or wall or large tree. Sometimes buildings or trees can give off just enough heat to prevent your door from freezing shut. In addition to properly preparing and maintaining your vehicle for winter's challenging conditions, you, as a driver, also need to be prepared. Be alert, increase your following distance, accelerate slowly, clear snow or ice from all windows and lights, and be extra cautious on bridges and around snowplows or other winter maintenance vehicles.
Wow, what a great resource from
Yes.
TBS Factory.
Oh yes, so much goes into prepping your rig for anything, really.
Yeah, for anything, but for winter, like who knew you had to do it like a couple months in advance?
Right.
That's
right.
so crazy.
Yes.
And if you guys want to download that ebook, visit the link in the description box below. You can go right to the page, download it
Yes.
right from there.
And there's a lot of other great ebooks too
Yes.
that cover a bunch of different topics, so make sure you go check it out. But on the next show, we're talking to Next Gen Trucking. They have a really cool program where they incorporate trucking driving simulators in
Yes.
high school classes. So they're getting the next generation
I
of
love
truckers
that.
ready. Yes.
I want to go.
Me too.
Oh,
Yeah,
we
that
need
would
to
be
go
very
do
fun.
it. I think we need to do it
I think
live.
so too. It's in California, but we can make
shoot.
we can make that trip.
Can we go out there, please?
Yeah, we can
Just
do
to
it.
do it. That'd be so fun. And also, we get a walk around of a rig that is so colorful. It reminds us of Fruit Stripes gum. You guys
Oh.
won't want to miss it. I promise. It's so good. And also our bloopers, Chris, it's our favorite time of the year.
yes.
You guys, Jason has caught us doing so many crazy things. I am actually kind of scared
Yeah.
to see what he's
we
found.
look like professionals on camera, but once you see the bloopers, you're gonna be like, these are regular
Hey,
people.
I'm a professional all the time,
Yeah.
even with my bloopers,
Hey,
Chris. I don't know
hey.
what you're talking about.
I go by fake it till you make it, okay?
Oh, yeah, probably.
Well, guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe because we can't do this without your support.
And why do we do this, Chris?
Because you're the boss.
It's always best practice to winterize.
Shoot, it's because we said it. It was so
Winterize.
Winterize.
Winterize. Winterize. Winterize. Winterize.
Winter.